Hello again, everybody. This is Dan Clouser, and welcome back to the Journey of My Mother's Son podcast. Today I have on the show for the second time, and we are actually live in the RV at the Philly Folk Festival, Manas Itene, who's going to be playing tonight with Michael Franti and Spearhead, headlining the Saturday lineup at the Philly Folk Festival. Manas, thanks for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You bet. I was really excited when we started texting and I told you that we were going to be at the festival, and you said, "Hey, well, I want to see the RV, and I've got a new single coming out. So would you be all right doing another podcast?" And absolutely honored to have you on the show for a second time.
Thank you.
So like I said, we're recording this at the festival. It will actually be released on your birthday, on your 50th birthday.
Correct.
But something else big is happening on your 50th birthday, and you got a new single coming out.
Correct.
And a lot of our last podcast was talking a lot about the Be Yourself single, which had just been released back in the spring. So tell me a little bit about the new single that's dropping, what will be today when this podcast comes out.
Well, the new single is about, when you have so much talent in you, you have a gift. Don't be afraid to share it. Don't look down on yourself that my gift is not good enough. You need to go out here and spread your wings and let it fly. So that's what this song is called. Show your love. You have something inside you that you need to share to the world. Give to the world. Because a lot of people grow up maybe in a little town, or they have so much to give, but they are not confident, about themselves. Like, oh, I'm good enough. They're always doubting themselves.
Right.
Well, this is like, no. Whatever you have is special. Whatever you have in you is a gift. Go show your talent.
Yeah.
Go to the world. Give it up.
I love it. And
Yes.
and you really are a shining example of that. I mean, talk about coming from a small town,
Yeah, exactly.
not even a town, a village
Yeah.
in Nigeria. And we talked a little bit about this on our first show. You came from literally a tiny village in Nigeria, and here you are in the last leg of the 2022 Follow Your Heart tour with Michael Franti and Spearhead. You were in Baltimore last night, Philadelphia today,
Yeah.
heading to Pittsburgh tomorrow,
Tomorrow, yeah.
and literally have traveled the world coming from that small town in Nigeria.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
is this song really your story?
No, now you brought it up. I never really thought of I never really thought about it that way. Basically, it's not really my story, but now you brought it up, it got me thinking, like, kind of my story now, It's like because the years of traveling, I see so many people, even like other drummers and musicians, I see a lot of people play in random places, like I never imagined it can be a little town in Midwest somewhere. I'm like, my God, you're so good. Why are you here? You have more opportunity in this city. We want people to see you. You're so good. And like, a lot of them we said, yeah, but you sure about that? I'm not that good enough, because Hollywood feel intimidating. You heard about New York, you feel intimidating. Los Angeles, you think, well, because you live in a little town in Midwest, you're not good. I said, no, I'm telling you. Go out, just go play. You will see how much appreciation people will appreciate you. So that's what this song, just came about. But now you said it, like, oh, you're right. Came from a little town. Now here in America, traveling all over the world. Do what I love to do, and because of these reasons too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it's awesome, and you're right. I mean, there's so much talent out there that has been undiscovered, and I think this festival shows it so much. I mean, as we were walking up to the RV, we were talking about some of these, some of these secondary stages, and even some of the guys and women that are singing around the campfires at night when you're walking back after the show. You're just like, man, they're really, really talented. But I think a lot of it is just having the guts to take that leap, which is pretty much what the song's talking about. Is take the chance, get out there, and
show it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just spread it. Because the thing is, a lot of people so afraid when they just think because you have a name, you the best, you good. No, it's just a lot of things is just marketing.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily you the best. It's just marketing. Talent, you can't hide that. When you see something good, you will like, wow, this is amazing. That's what talent is. You know, you got nothing to do with fame or like, being a superstar, rock star. It got nothing to do with that. Because a lot of stuff is just marketing. So when people see like, oh man, this guy, he has so much, oh man, it's a big name, there's no way I can compete it with. It's not a competition. Just go do your part. People will judge you like, oh my God, where are you from? You know, that's what people get discovered.
Yeah.
People don't get discovered by hiding in your bathroom, in your bedroom. You get discovered by showing people like, oh my God, you have something. I've never seen this before. What's your name? You know, where are you from? Then people, that's why the word spread around it, like you spreading it.
Yeah.
So people always get it confused because they're like, oh, like I was saying earlier, oh yeah, you live in a little town, you heard about Hollywood or New York, and then you think you're not good enough because you keep hearing like, oh man, there's so much talent out there in New York, there's so much, so in Los Angeles, wherever it is. Or you go, you might just be the person they're like looking for. Like, oh, I love your style. Where did you come from? But the only way that can happen, you have to make that happen.
Yeah.
And that's what the song is.
Yeah. I did a podcast just a couple months ago with a kid that was a former intern of mine who just decided to move to Nashville, country guitarist, and, you know, after playing locally for years and years, finally had the guts to say, you know what, I'm going to do this. And if I fail, at least I said I tried. And I think that's what it comes down to, is if you at least go out and do it and you don't make it, well, now you know. You know? But it doesn't, and even that doesn't mean you're not talented. It just means, I mean, because there is so much musical talent out there. It's
so
incredible.
much talent. Like I said, a lot of people don't have musical talent, but because of marketing, they become popular.
Yeah.
But when you strip down to it, you find out like, oh, you can't even sing at all. Why are you so popular? It's just the marketing. But talent is something you have in you. That it's a gift. You know, you can't take that away. But at the same time, don't kill it. Don't kill your talent. You want someone to discover you, but the only way that can happen is for you showing it. It's like it got nothing to do. You can do with drawing, painting. It can be a different kind of talent. You might paint something. You might just be afraid. Oh, nobody's going to like my painting. People like, who did that? What's your name? I'm from so. Why, I love your painting. How much you selling it for? Oh, 500. Okay, from now I want you to make me like 20. The only way that can happen, you have to show the painting.
Yep.
But you can't just do it, show it to your friends. Your friends, they're just gonna go, oh, that's really cool, bro. That's it.
Yeah, get out of your little circle.
Yeah, just
get out of your
go
comfort
out,
zone and do it.
Just go out, you know, you can do it.
I love that.
Yeah, that's what the song is, you know.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
So, how did you find the time to write and record a new single in the midst of a tour?
Yeah, not before the tour started. I think already, I wrote this song in a little bit, but I just kind of finished it up.
Gotcha.
Middle of the tour, like it's already I already had the idea.
Yeah.
Because when I write lyrics, I don't just write lyrics. I'm not so quick. I have to make this story up in my head. Yes, I have to like piece things together. Like Michael is so good. It's a gift. He can right here lyric, everything flows.
Yeah.
But I have to like the chorus, take a verse. Okay, let me tell the story. So I have to tell the story in my head, and I keep scratching things down.
Yeah.
And eventually I feel comfortable about it, then I write a song.
So you use the guys in the band then? Like, do you say, hey guys, I want you to listen?
Yeah,
like you get their feedback?
Yeah,
that's
like,
so cool. It's that kind of
like
collaborative.
Sometimes I use car, but sometimes car is not around, and they might be busy doing other stuff. And I take it because I just pre-record everything at home, and I just give it to the professionals, what they do. I play keyboard, but not like my blanket sheep. I play a little bit bass, but not like Carl. I play guitar, but not like Claudio, or whatever. So I just like, this is it.
Yeah.
You have time? I'm like, yeah, I have time. Oh, I'm so, Yeah. So everybody just kind of, work on and play their own field.
Yeah. That's cool though that you have that that collaborative feeling amongst the band, and that there's not really, you know, competition as to, you know, because I know you guys all have some side projects going on in addition to, you know, touring with Spearhead and everything, and I guess again the longevity of what you guys have done still baffles me. Now I know Jay had just left to pursue some other things, but I thought that you know, that was incredibly beautiful the way Jay had left and what Michael had to say about him when he left. So you know, you've been with him for 20 years. Carl's been with him for over 30 years.
We did for like 22 now.
22. I mean, that's just incredible. And I think it shows how that talent just feeds off of each other. You know, that you guys don't get tired of each other.
No.
Being on the road I mean, you guys have been on the road together since May. And I know sometimes how Sandy and I on the road we'll get at each other's throats a little bit, but we're still here. You know, so you guys are kind of in like, you know, a 5-person marriage to an extent as to
we don't
you know,
we so used to ourselves. We have so much to like spend our energy on, you know. Everybody have story to tell. So when we get up, like, oh, this what happened last night, we talk about sport, we talk about music, you know, just different things, you know, like, so we all have so much to share, like individual, your experience. What did you do last night? What did you know, what happened? We always have something.
And it really is a family. It really is a family.
We don't, you know, plus everybody's pretty much active, you know. Michael go for yoga, he do run, you know, I run every morning, you know, do my best, you know, so we all have different activities to just kind of do. So it's kind of help too, you know, it's not like just sitting around, we just always active.
And tell me a little bit about that. You know, again, we're somewhat familiar with road life because we live in the RV, but it's different than what tour life is. So again, just the fact to, you know, find that time to stay healthy by, you know, exercise and running. I know for me, just, you know, finding time sometimes to walk this guy here, you know, you got to schedule it and you got to work it in. So you really, I guess, got to prioritize that and say, you know what, bus is leaving at this time, but I still got to get my run in or whatever.
Well, you just have to program it in your head, like, okay, by, like what I do, I will like, okay, by 11 o'clock, I will go to bed. Maybe the gig stop at 9 o'clock. I will social a little bit. Then I will try to wake up as early as possible before the sun rises, because I don't want it to get too hot before I run. So, you know, I just have all these ideas in my head, and I do that. Go run in the morning, come home, I come back to the bus, wherever it is, take a shower, then I go back to bed. Then I wake up strong. So we all have different time, like Carl will wake up, go ride his bike. Michael will wake up, go look for basketball court, go for a run, yoga, you know, just keep this active, you know. So we all, at the end of the day, we all just meet up. You know, I went running 6 miles, I can't do like 10 miles on the bike, Michael, like, you know. So there's sometimes we all just like, you know, where the time allow, we just do this together. Like, you know, I can't play basketball, I play time. So we all just do this together. So it's kind of cool. It's fun.
I would say Michael can probably out-rebound you a little bit on the basketball court.
So, you give me the run around. You just duck it.
So as we were walking up here from the main stage to where our RV is, and we were talking about this festival in particular. This is the first time you guys are playing the Philly Folk Festival.
I remember,
first time Sandy and I have ever been here, and we've absolutely loved it so far. But, you know, walking through the campground area and, you know, just talking about the talent and, you know, up until you guys perform, you don't perform until 10:30 tonight. So you guys aren't just going to be sitting in the tour bus. Like, you're going to be going around,
we're going around,
checking it out, eating some food, and listening to other bands.
We're just gonna hang out, you know, like some of us we go to the hotel, some of us we like just hang out because we see the hotel room all the day and all the time. And so we just like a different inspiration, you know, like I know Michael probably walk around and I would do too, just to see different vendors, talk to people, you know, like, you know, it's amazing because the good thing about touring, it's not just the music, it's about meeting people. You know,
Yep.
that helps too.
Yeah.
Where people will give you their feedback, what they think, what music really, you know, doing in their lives and stuff like that. So, and that gives us inspiration to continue to do it more.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I love that, and we talked about that a little bit on the
Yeah.
last time we had a podcast. It's just that connection with people.
Yeah, people that make us do it, not we. If we want to do it, then we will just stay home and play in our basement. But we're doing it for the people.
Yeah.
So when people keep appreciating, it's like you do something for somebody shake your hands. Thank you so much for what you did, you know, this really helped. Then you're like, oh, but that's not much. I only gave you $2. You're like, no man, this $2 goes a long way. You're like, for real? Okay, next time I'm gonna make it $10.
Right.
Because you can do that. Then you're like, oh my God, the $10 is too much, you know? All this for me, then you're like, yeah, it's only $10. Then next time I'm gonna make it 50. That's what that's how we keep doing the music. Like we do a little bit, people like, this is great. We're like, but I don't think we did that much. Okay, now next time we're gonna step it up. Okay, people love it. Let's write a song based on this again. Let's try to reach as much people we can.
Yeah.
That's what keeps us going.
Yeah, it's that connection I think is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you can see it. And I know the last podcast we did was actually before you had done your retreat in Sedona.
Yeah.
And we talked a little bit just about, at that point, the retreat philosophy of being in a much smaller crowd and being able to, you know, that connection is even deeper than when you're playing in front of a couple thousand people and you have a schedule to make and you got to get out the door. So how did the Sedona retreat go? Number one. And like, again, that connection that you felt with the people that were, I mean, how many people actually came to the retreat?
Oh, the Sedona, I think maybe like 20.
Okay.
I think so, yeah, you know.
And it was 2 days or 3 days? I don't remember.
I think it was like three days. 3 days or 4 days, but I left earlier for rehearsal. But it was really nice because the last day everybody make a speech. Had this, because I never done a retreat before, so a lot of people were emotional. I had this really meant to them, and in this environment, get to meet each other and talk. And I never been in that space before, because the only space I've been in, you know, people come to the show like, hey, you know, you guys are great. You hang out with people for 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I thank you. I hope to see you again. Blah, blah, blah. You know, it's good. But this is like deep conversation.
Yes.
What this meant to them. I'm like, wow. Then in my heart, like, I don't need much. I just show you where I know it a little bit on the drums, and I just show you some rhythm where I know, and you picked it up. You know, that really mean a lot. Wow. Then I feel good. Like, wow, this is... if you can make it different, I will keep continue doing it, you know, because, you know, the feedback was so powerful from the people.
Right.
And the same thing with the yoga, you know, people talk, like some people never did yoga before, you know, and with the whole thing, it's just kind of really nice, you know, everybody felt good, people spoke their piece, you know, and it just made me happy, like, wow, this is awesome. You know, for me doing the classes, you know, when I was teaching, a lot of people, like, I never had really before, I never thought I could do this bit, but I can do it.
Yeah.
I said, yeah.
I think that's one of the things that's so cool about an atmosphere like that is that you know, whether people view you as a celebrity because you're drummer of Spearhead, at the end of the day, you know, whether it's famous or not famous, black, white, or whatever color you are, whatever religion you practice, at the end of the day, we're all human beings.
Of course.
And we all long for that connection. And again, to sit down and have these conversations, you know, with people like that, I think not only feeds them, but obviously from what you've said, feeds you as well.
Yeah, give me more coffee then. No, because when you do it alone, you don't know. You just like, you know, just like I was saying about the song, you have a talent, you dance alone, you look at yourself in the mirror, you're going crazy. You don't know. You only do that. But it's when other people see, like, this is cool. Why don't you do more of this? Why don't, just like I was saying about the painting, why don't you paint more? Why don't you, why don't you, you know, go to the farmer's market or something, go show your painting or wherever it is. Why do you have to be in your bedroom? You paint it that you live in the bedroom, you don't, you know, it might mean a lot to somebody else's. So he's like, oh, it's just a painting, it's all right. but somebody else might just be like something glorious to them, you know.
Yeah. And I think that just goes to the point of the song.
Yeah.
You know, because who would have thought, you know, in your mind when you first started drumming, that you would travel the way you did, but then again, now you're not just playing the drums, like you're literally inspiring people and changing people's lives. And to have that retreat, like you said, you went in there doing it for them, but probably left with more than what you even gave.
Exactly.
You know, and I think that's, you know, one of the things, I know you know we do a lot of volunteering, and you know, we've talked about that in the past as well, is that, you know, you go in and you're giving of yourself, but you find in the end you're the one who ends up being filled through that. So as you're kind of roaming the crowd throughout the festival here today, I mean, what you know, what are you looking to get out of that?
Just to like talk to people to see, you know, what was the motivation, what brought it here. And the good thing about like festival like this, you can see the power of music. Music brings people together, power of music, that's all it is. And the good thing about music, what's so special about music is you have choice. Just like we being human too, you have white, black, Latino, Chinese, Indian, you have all kinds of people. That's the same way with music. That's why we all have different kind of music. So there's always something for everybody. It's not like just one person. That's what I love about music. You have reggae, you have punk rock, you have, you know, heavy metal, you have jazz, you have all kinds of pop, you know, funk, you know, classical. You have all that.
Yep. So
you can see the power of music bring people together. When if you don't like this bluegrass, there's reggae playing out here, there's punk, so it's all unity. You know? That's one thing I discover, like going around seeing people.
Yeah, and that's what's cool about this festival is that, you know, it's considered a quote unquote folk festival, but again, I mean, you've got Irish Celtic music, you've got you know, hip hop from Arrested Development tonight. I've still yet to figure out what genre you guys are, Spearhead. I know Michael says he hates genres. So.
No, we just make music.
That's right, it's just music.
We just make music.
So, you know, there's been some bluegrass, but it's all so good. And, you know, I know when I talk to other people, and, you know, they look at my standard playlist, like it's all over the place. And, you know, being able to sit down with someone like you, you can understand, you know, that broad taste of music and the appreciation of it. So I love hanging out with you and being able to talk music and the power of music, because it is incredibly powerful for sure. And that's one of the things that we've gotten out of this festival is just it's been so amazing for us. So you're just about winding up the tour. You got about a month left. What's on tap for Manas after the tour?
Rest a little bit, and I have then after the last tour I have a couple of gigs in Montrose, Pennsylvania, my solo project, you know, solo. So it's gonna be I'm gonna sing few songs acoustically, you know, then drum circle. You know, I did that before last year. Then people will bring drums and bucket wherever it is, so we just jam out. Because the cool thing about the drum circle, everybody's involved. It's not you part of the show. It's not just me. You're not just watching me banging on drums. You're gonna play, and everybody have rhythm inside. Doesn't matter how it comes out, you know, but you have something, you know. So that's the fun thing about when I do my solo project. It's not just the acoustic set, more of the drum circle, because you're part of it.
And again, that participation and that connection with people. Because after you did that one in Montrose a couple months back, I remember, you know, reading and seeing some of the reviews and some of the feedback that people had about what that experience was. And again, it just goes to that connection of music, and it's absolutely amazing. But I think a well-deserved rest is certainly in order.
A little rest. Rest a little bit, you know, get your energy back.
Maybe sometime after the tour we'll have to figure out a campground where we can rendezvous at. With,
we
with
make
RV
something happen. Yeah, we
hang
make
out a little
something
bit,
happen. Yeah, we
grill some
should.
hot dogs over the fire.
Yeah, we should.
We can bang on the drums a little bit.
We should.
I'll have my harmonicas and
Yeah,
we'll have a
exactly.
good time.
We should. Yeah, I love that.
That would be a lot of fun.
I love that. Yeah.
So, Manas, how can people? Where do they get the single at? Where are they going to be able to
They
listen to this
can,
great new song?
in Spotify, every major platform of, the modern stuff, Apple Music,
And anybody out there that wants to book a solo event or reach out to you about doing a retreat or something, let them know where the website is.
Yeah, they go to my website, manasitene.com, see.
And every way to contact you is on the site. So,
the site, yes.
And I'll tell you, firsthand, Manas will get back to you. So I think it's pretty cool that I can send you a text and you respond, and
right.
Here we are sitting in the RV doing a podcast. So,
thank you.
And I know I asked you this on the last podcast, but it's still the theme of my podcast. I'm gonna ask you again. So, the subtitle of the podcast is "Many Little People in Many Little Places," which comes from one of the songs that you play on, Gloria. And the opening lyrics are "Many little people in many little places do many little things, and the whole world changes." So
you're right.
what is one of those little things? You've answered the question 100 times already in the podcast, but just to narrow it down, what's one of the things that Manas does to make the world a little bit better place?
One of the little things is you give it somebody that need a hand, lend a hand to somebody that needed something. Yeah. It's very simple. You see somebody struggling, how you doing? It can be just something simple. Somebody having a problem, pushing their grocery. You're like, hey, mama, I got this. I help you to push it to the car. Things like that. Yeah. A little bit things do help.
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
I love it. It goes such a long way. It really does. So, Manas, I appreciate you taking the time to come up and hang out in the RV, have another conversation. Hopefully this isn't the last podcast that we do. I'm sure we'll
do some more.
Yeah, the next one we'll do in a campground around the fire.
Exactly. That sounds much better.
People listening can probably hear it. It's hot at the Philly Folk Festival today, so you can probably hear the generator running a little bit in the background and the AC, but if we were sitting outside, my mic might be crapping out from all the moisture that would be coming off of my body onto the microphone. So in the RV and the AC was definitely the best choice here.
Yes.
So folks out there listening, be sure to check out my other podcasts and blogs at journeyofmymotherson.com or danclouser.com. Head on over and pick up a copy of my book, The Journey of My Mother's Son, Volume 1, and then head on over to Manas's website or over to Spotify, check out the new single, and just connect with Manas. He is an amazing human being, and I am honored to have him in the RV, do another podcast with him, and call him my friend and my brother. So thank you very much again, Manas.
Thank you for having me.
You bet.
It was fun. Thank you.
And there Yuke gets his last shake in before the podcast ends.